my fellow Americans. Today I have the very, very exciting opportunity to speak to you regarding the topic of naked short selling. When one is going to give a speech, it's so very important to know who is your audience. This becomes a very, very complex issue because is my audience the Securities and Exchange Commission? Is my audience fellow CEOs? Is it shareholders? Or most importantly, is this speech being given today for the future investors, children and grandchildren of us all? I'm going to try throughout this next half hour to explain naked short selling, Universal Express's reactions to naked short selling, and hopefully when all is finished, you will better understand it, you will better understand our position, and we will memorialize, for the sake of generations that will follow, that it was Universal Express and many, many other companies that fought this fight for your privileges of being able to trade securities in confidence, knowing that when you buy something or you sell something, there is something to buy or something to sell. The best way to begin any speech is with either a joke or a story. Since naked short selling is far from laughable, I need to begin with a more serious story. On the front door of the Holocaust Museum in Washington, and I will be paraphrasing, is a poem or a letter written by a Holocaust survivor. He said, "When they came for my neighbor, I hid behind the door. When they came for my other neighbor, I hid under the bed. And then, when they came for me, there was no one there to help me." The purpose of my speech today is for you who may be hiding under the bed or hiding behind the door to open your door. Do not believe that the problems of the hundreds, thousands, and specifically Universal Express are not your problems or will never become your problems. It has been said that the true definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's what we've been doing for 15 years. The Securities and Exchange Commission in 2004 stated that there are more naked shares in the market than actually exist. Over the past few weeks, we have seen what we call meltdowns. Well, those meltdowns can happen unless they are helped along by this concept of naked short selling. Now, I've already been speaking with you for 3 or 4 minutes, and I have not yet defined the topic of my speech. I'd like to give you a few definitions. One I received from one of my general counsel's advisors. He said naked short selling is selling property that you do not own. I think we all understand that concept. I don't think I could begin an auction here, and this is an auction palette. I don't think I could do an auction for the Securities and Exchange Commission property, their buildings, their computers, their cars, without being called foolish or ridiculous or grandstanding. I don't own it, so I shouldn't be allowed to sell it. So in the wisdom of our regulatory agencies, they have allowed market makers, hedge funds, larger companies than all of us that are listening to this speech, to be able to trade securities even if they do not own it, but as long as they have an equal dollar amount of another security. For example, if I have $10 million of IBM and I'm a market maker for Universal Express, I can trade with immunity $10 million of a young developing company.